Well, there's demolition and then there's deconstruction. An old vacant apartment building in Pontiac will be torn down, but first, workers will salvage fine old wood and other valuable parts of that property. It's part of a long-range program launched by the Oakland County Treasurer to put foreclosed properties to a better use. WJR's Dick Haefner talking with the County Treasurer, Andy Meisner, tonight.
Dick, I've been saying that demolition has got a smarter cousin by the name of deconstruction. And deconstruction is where a number of people who are unemployed, underemployed, get workforce development training in how to work on a construction site and potentially start a career in the building trades. So it's got that workforce development component. It's got a community development component in that deconstruction involves taking down a house just like demolishing it, only instead of all that material going to the landfill and causing expense there, environmental and economic, that property and that material is reclaimed and used to build beautiful new furniture and picture frames and all sorts of things sold on the internet as a commodity because it turns out this older wood is more valuable and better constructed than some of the stuff that we buy today. And that's happening in Pontiac, and this new deconstruction program called Revive Pontiac is going to be deconstructing a tax foreclosed apartment building that is obsolete and condemned, and we're going to be getting this program going, and I think it's something that's really exciting for Pontiac, but really exciting for Oakland County and the region. It's just doing things smarter, and I'm pretty excited about it.
Now, as the treasurer, you're the county guy who's the head of the money counting, but you're involved in this component of county government because you are connected to the land bank.
Well, that's right, and as the state law sets the county treasurer as the one who administers the delinquent property tax system. And so when there's a tax foreclosure and the property doesn't sell at auction, the county treasurer becomes the owner of that on behalf of the county. And then I've got to think about smart, efficient things to do with those properties once I get them. I get them whether we want them or not. And we think that this is an example of being a little bit smarter about how we handle that stewardship of those tax foreclosed properties. And, we want to do it in a way that boosts property values and fights blight. And so this program has got a lot of nice combination of those exciting elements.
There's no county treasurer who takes any joy in getting involved in tax foreclosures because in so many instances there are families who might have been evicted and lost their homes in a foreclosure, and so at least you are able to creatively find a couple of pluses, including job training. There's a workforce component here, as you pointed out.
There's a workforce component, and I want to thank the Michigan Economic Development Corporation for providing some funding. And then, as a bottom line financial guy, there's a revenue stream from this, which I'm really excited about. There's an outfit in Detroit called Workshop Detroit that is doing a similar thing. They're selling their furniture in Art Van or Gardner White. You can buy a table for $4,200. They put the address of the property that it came from. In the instance where there is a foreclosure, this is, I think, a good way to deal with the property. And I should mention that my staff and I have done 14 payment plans with taxpayers over the years and kept 14,000 people and families from losing their property. And, Dick, you're exactly right. There's no county treasurer that ever wants to see that. And, that's why we try to be flexible and offer a payment plan and work with folks. And, that approach has been smart with regard to the bottom line as well, because those 14,000 payment plans have actually generated $75 million in revenue over the last 2 years. Over 90% of the families that we offer payment plans make all the monthly payments, and so they take responsibility for it, which is really great.
Andy Meisner, the Oakland County Treasurer. Andy, when did it come on your radar screen that a lot of this material in demolition properties can be salvaged and actually has a lot of value if you look for them carefully?
Grace Centers of Hope had started a program like this a decade ago, and so was familiar with a little bit of what they were doing. But in particular, there's this Architectural Salvage Warehouse of Detroit was an early adapter, looking around the country at different communities and how they're handling the issue. But in the community development world, deconstruction has definitely become a best practice. And maybe you have to demolish the property after it's deconstructed if there's, some element that doesn't maybe have value to be recovered or reclaimed. But it's less stuff going to the landfill, creating entrepreneurial opportunity, as well as the workforce piece that you talked about. And so the deconstruction strategy is really one that's it's got a lot of merit. So it's why I'm so supportive of it. I think a lot of the local leaders are, very, very happy about it.
Most people will be hearing about this for the first time if they're listening to this. And so how can they learn more?
So go to my website where I did a 2-minute deconstruction demystified video, oakgov.com/treasurer, that tries to boil it all down into just a couple of minutes with some video footage of deconstruction actually happening. And it's a rather dramatic process, and it's exciting for people to see it up close.
Rehab addict, get out of the way. We've got the deconstructor, Andy Meisner, the Oakland County Treasurer. Andy, it was fun to talk to you, and good luck on this venture.
Well, thank you so much, and she is awesome, and she's an Oakland County native.
I know. Maybe you're getting some ideas from her and putting them into practice.
She would be a perfect end user for some of the stuff that gets recovered, like a mantle, some of that wood. But yeah, the rehab addict, she's a great example of who would be a user of what the reclaimed property is, produced.
Andy Meisner, the Oakland County Treasurer, from demolition to deconstruction. I'm Dick Haefner, WJR News, for The Big Story.